members at a Lutheran church in Iowa are doing their part to make the world a better place by getting ready to send more than 620 handmade quilts to people in need all around the world. The quilts are part of the church's long-running partnership with Lutheran World Relief and fostering communities. Volunteers meet weekly to sew, and they've been doing it for decades.
That's so awesome, especially at this time of year when things are still pretty chilly for so many people, right? Here at home, you can see things look to warm up in the coming days across the region. We're looking to break into the 70s for Spokane by about Thursday. We're going to hold strong there into Friday. Areas like Lewiston, Moses Lake, and Colville set to beat us into the 70s by Wednesday. And hey, the chance of rain remains pretty low over the next week here too, so it's looking like it's going to be pretty comfortable and mild.
Yeah, and we are getting into all of our lilac activities going on. Rosemary, you had a fun event this afternoon.
Yes, I got to host the Junior Royal Court Tea Party at the historic Davenport. It's my first lilac season. I'm very excited, Heidi.
Hey, that does it.
Heidi Miley, Rosemary Wright, bringing you the content that connects our community. You're watching NonStop Local KHQ at 6.
Across the Northwest, Spokane is getting ready to host one of the several international soccer teams ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We are one of only a handful of nations to ever to host 2 World Cups. The games do start in June. Spokane and major regional stakeholders are going all in for this summer of soccer. And NonStop Local's Rachel Turcotte is at Gonzaga University, where Egypt will practice. And she spoke with students who say playing host is a great way to highlight the university and Spokane.
Yes, Heidi, that's right. Well, students here at Gonzaga University are very excited for the Egypt team to be practicing on their stomping grounds, and they also think that it will strengthen their community here.
I think it's really good for the Spokane community just within itself. Like Gonzaga is a very tight-knit community, same with the Spokane area, just all around. So I think it is really good to kind of have that presence at something that is not just basketball as well.
And to add on to this excitement, partners from across Spokane announced the Summer of Soccer campaign to make the most of being selected to host Team Egypt. Restaurants and other businesses will be open for match viewing, and soccer fans are invited to gather at the Giza Pavilion at Riverfront Park on June 19th and July 19th to watch these matches while enjoying food and beverages. And Visit Spokane is excited for this opportunity to connect fans and businesses to Spokane's Summer of Soccer, and is very excited for it to come. Reporting live in Spokane, I'm Rachel Turcotte for NonStop Local.
All right, thank you so much, Rachel. And still talking about a different sport all across the Northwest here that you're familiar with. A plan to separate Seattle's pickleball and tennis courts is drawing backlash from frequent players. The city wants to stop sharing courts and switch to single courts for each sport. The problem, it would reduce the number of courts for pickleball players by more than 3 dozen across the city. While Seattle will replace them, that process would take years.
It is pickleball and tennis. It's not pickleball versus tennis. Communities, they're large and they're organized and they're great in their communities. They're very upset about it, and they kind of don't know where they're going to go.
Yeah, the association doesn't mind separating the 2 sports eventually, but believes Seattle is moving too fast. Parks and Rec will get community feedback before finalizing these plans. Now let's go ahead and show you a live look over downtown Spokane. A great weekend to get outside, but As we saw with Rachel out there, some wind gusts hitting the city. Rosemary Wright standing by in our weather center, but I still see a lot of people are out and about though.
Yes, it's been mild enough that people are still able to enjoy the weather that we're having this weekend. And hey, it looks like we're set to have a mild and comfortable return to work tomorrow too. You can see across the inland northwest today, we had temperatures up to 59 degrees in Spokane, 55 there in Coeur d'Alene, and a little warmer through central Washington. 66 was our high in Moses Lake and 69 degrees down in the Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, and Pendleton too. As we look at our satellite radar, you can see we did capture some wet weather through the Panhandle, even some flurries along that eastern portion of the Panhandle and into northwestern Montana, as well as some storm activity down in the LC Valley too. But overnight, we see that chance for rain really isolated to central Washington, the Cascades, and the eastern Panhandle. But that chance of rain is actually really quite low overnight here and through to tomorrow, Monday. Tomorrow, you can see we do have cloud cover off and on. No rain expected from those clouds for Spokane, the Tri-Cities, or Yakima, with daytime highs in the low 60s for the Lilac City, upper 60s through the Tri-Cities and Yakima too. And then in the coming days, temperatures continue to climb. We're looking at a real warm and comfortable week ahead and a dry one too. Coming up in your full forecast, we'll take a closer look at just how warm things are set to be in time for Bloomsday. Heidi.
All right, thank you, Rosemary. Tracking crime now in Ellensburg, officers arrested a 23-year-old man and have recovered guns involved in a dispute on Craig's Hill. Callers told police somebody had pointed a gun at them in that neighborhood yesterday afternoon. And based on the victim's description, Ellensburg police used the flock license cameras to find the car last night at the West Interchange. If you have any information, officers need you to reach out. And to a big story now, Yakima police are cracking down on distracted driving this month, including talking or texting, eating food, or putting your makeup on. But also in Yakima, the police department says crime numbers are down across the city. NonStop Local Stephen Hogenkamp is tracking the decrease, but also what could hurt these improvements.
City of Yakima Police Chief Sean Boyle touted an 89% homicide clearing rate from 2025 during a recent city council meeting. Now that's well above the national average of 61%. After recent budget cuts due to the department, he says that there are still gaps needed to be filled within the department, but says that he's very proud of the work that's being done. Following the failure of the city's levy lid lift, Yakima Police Department faced roughly $3 million in cuts.
We're fully staffed at the 124 budgeted, which is unfortunately significantly down from 2014 where we had 147. We took 12 commissioned officers. We're no longer in the budget this year.
Despite the steep drop in numbers of officers, Yakima Police have seen a drop-off in major crimes that affect many in the community.
Burglary and auto theft are way down. Those are the ones that are property crimes. So that's a credit to the people in the field that are responding to the calls, or catching the people, and the detectives assigned to our property crimes unit.
Chief Boyle says that the Corrections Department is very short-staffed, with nearly 1,300 hours of overtime needed just the first 3 months of the year to keep the jail running.
If we could find a way to build up our police department, build up the jail, build up the prosecutor's office, because again, we're doing all these arrests, but without a system built that includes prosecutors, defense attorneys, the court system. We're working with the city manager and the finance director and human resources to try to identify ways to fill those gaps.
And Chief Boyle says that his department is continuously looking for new officers and lateral transfers and paying bonuses to attract applicants. New hires will receive a $5,000 signing bonus and lateral transfers a $10,000 signing bonus. Other positions available include 911 dispatch services, public record services, and administrative support. Reporting in Yakima, Stephen Hogenkamp, NonStop Local.
And continuing coverage, crime statistics across Spokane County are also down year over year. At the end of December, a report coming out showed an overall drop in crimes against both people and property. However, negligent manslaughter and simple assault crimes went up significantly. Manslaughter is up 300%, going from 1 case to 4 cases. Simple assaults are up 12%, going from nearly 1,200 to 1,300. But criminal homicide is down 40% between 2024 and 25, going from 5 to 3 cases. Right now, Idaho State Police are investigating a crash involving a City of Lewiston police officer. Investigators say 29-year-old Tristan Weeks was driving a 2009 Cadillac Escalade and hit the driver's side of a patrol vehicle while passing it at 5th and D Street in Lewiston at about 1:15 this morning. Medics took both the 30-year-old female officer and also Weeks to the hospital for minor injuries. Police ask you to reach out if you saw anything before that crash. That was a black vehicle involved there. And between Moses Lake and the Tri-Cities, Adams County deputies are investigating a deadly crash along the 2000 block of West Bench in Othello. They quickly closed down West Bench between South Reynolds and Highway 24. They ask you to go around a different way. Those are the only details we have right now, but we're tracking new information and we'll alert you once we know more. And look at this, Fairchild Air Force Base is sharing pictures of hands-on experiences for Junior Reserve Training Corps cadets who came for a visit from Clarkston. Airmen say these JROTC cadets got a first-hand look at the general operations, aircraft, and the service that members are doing to fulfill Fairchild's mission. Fairchild calls these cadets outstanding and urges them to keep aiming high. And also sharing the good, if this is any indication, boy oh boy is it going to be one unforgettable summer for young people in Airway Heights Police. The Police Adventure League is revealing pictures of their whitewater rafting trip with Cheney school students. This collaboration with Peak 7 Adventures uses outdoor adventures like rock climbing and rafting to build relationships between police and teens. This is just the first activity of several planned for the summer. Hey, time for a quick break here on NonStop Local at 6. Still to come, a woman in Wisconsin is using a wellness tool and social media to create community. Just how many women jumped at this chance for a sauna sisterhood, though, is coming up next.
And in your full weather forecast, we'll make sure you're ready to head back to work tomorrow as temperatures climb across the region. That's coming up here at 6.
Hey, I want to hear about this right now. A Wisconsin woman's passion is leading the way to a community of sisterhood. Paige Hammond and her husband bought a sauna for their backyard, and after using it every day a while, she said it was kind of lonely. So she posted a community social media page inviting other neighborhood women, but more than 60 responded.
Man, I want an invite.
Maybe at this point we've had, well over a dozen different sessions where 5 strangers that are all women that live in the village of Shorewood come over here and they meet each other.
It's just positive. Like, the environment is positive. The energy, everything that you're talking about, like, exudes positiveness.
So popular, Paige had actually set up a scheduling system, but she says this labor of love is giving neighborhood women a place to connect in ways she never expected.
Wow.
60 answers. Yeah, I'll come over and go sauna with you.
I know, right? Free sauna invitation. I'm sure you could get a lot of people saying yes and being interested.
If you found out, oh yeah, the gal 2 doors down has a sauna, come on over.
Exactly.
That's what I do.
And it must be really fun, and they must be enjoying each other's company if they
Yeah.
keep going back.
Yeah, so cool.
Yes, it's really, really nice. And they say the sauna is really good for you, especially when you've got chillier weather going on too, right? Kind of the
Yeah, no,
hot,
it really
cold,
is.
hot, cold. I don't know if it's exactly sauna temperatures outside right now. We're 15 minutes past 6 p.m. We're at 54 degrees in Spokane, upper 40s right now in Coeur d'Alene, so a bit chillier over there as that sun's starting to go down across the inland northwest. So we check in with the Tri-Cities in Yakima, sitting a bit warmer tonight at 68 degrees through Kennewick, Richland, and Pasco, and 65 degrees in Yakima with single-digit wind speeds through that area as well. So we look at our satellite radar. You can see where we registered some showers through North Idaho, even some flurries into the Treasure State, as well as through the LC Valley. Overnight here, we're looking for our skies to remain quite calm, though. We've got a slight chance of more wet weather through the Panhandle and Central Washington, but even that chance remains really, really quite low overnight here. And our winds reflect that. We're looking for gusts to peak in that 20-mile-per-hour range through Spokane. Other areas peaking in the single digits and teens overnight here and through to tomorrow. Temperatures tonight falling to 33 degrees in Spokane, 34 degrees expected an overnight low in Coeur d'Alene, 44 degrees through the Tri-Cities, and 39 degrees overnight in Yakima. And you can see just how low that chance of precipitation is overnight here and through to tomorrow as temperatures climb back to 60 degrees through the Lilac City and 59 through the Lake City. A little warmer through the LC Valley, 64 degrees expected in Lewiston tomorrow, and 69 degrees as you head back to work in Moses Lake. Taking a look at that national picture now, getting you through Monday and the start of the week. I want you to focus on the central United States, where we've got all of this storm activity, because after that it kind of pushes through dinner time tomorrow into the Midwest, as well as into the southern states too. We're talking the Virginias and the Carolinas. Then by Wednesday, another big wave through the Midwest and into New England too, also passing over portions of the South. So we're seeing all of that wet weather for our friends further east, but closer to home, we see that chance for rain peak at 40% in North Idaho tomorrow Monday, and then again at that same time noon on Tuesday. But beyond that, over the next 72 hours here, the chance for rain remains really quite low across the inland Northwest. Any storm activity we do see is likely to be isolated to those mountain elevations. As we take a look at the next 7 days, that pattern holds. Dry weather and warmer weather too, with things rising back to the 70s by Thursday across the metro area, just in time for Bloomsday over the weekend. Here's a first look at your Bloomsday forecast. High of 72 degrees expected in Spokane on Sunday in time for the big race. Overnight lows that day in the upper 40s. Partly cloudy conditions, but you can see no real chance of rain coming from those clouds. So looking like it's set to be really comfortable weather for the race and not too hot, right? For Yakima and the Tri-Cities, that return to the 70s comes a bit earlier, and there's a chance to pop up into the 80s by Thursday and into the weekend. That's your forecast, but hey, stick around. When we come back, Grady Glover has some Mariners updates in sports.
Live from the Northern Quest Sports Studio. This is SWX NonStop Local Sports.
Well, Eastern Washington football still waiting to announce their starting quarterback. They said they'll do that at the end of spring practice. But Noah Schmick was at their scrimmage yesterday, tells us the offense is getting more consistent and there's been a standout emerging on the defense.
The Eastern Washington Eagles just finished up their second spring football camp scrimmage, and it was all about trying to extend drives. Longer drives here in the second scrimmage, as the offense, they had some highlight plays, and the defense, they fought right back. But the Eags were just working on being a little bit more consistent.
I think this week was back and forth. I think there was a lot of series strung together on offense. Last week, half the series were 3 and outs, and it just felt like there was really no vibe to it. Guys just... It just seemed start, stop. You know, it's kind of like driving a clutch, not knowing how to drive a clutch. This go round, I thought it was very, very, very emotional. I think there was a lot of plays made on both sides.
In fact, all 3 Eagle quarterbacks had their moments in this scrimmage, both good and bad. But it was the defense that was flying around, especially safety Bjorn Birmingham that came up with 2 picks.
I mean, they're all competitors. We have 3 different quarterbacks. They all do different things. I'm just playing my game. I just intercept them, you know what I'm saying? I just take the ball from them.
As the ball finds him and he finds the ball, that's kind of what I was talking to a few of the guys on defense. Him and Marcus Nixon have been kind of ball magnets a little bit this spring. They just kind of found ways to collect leather, you know, and it's just they're just finding ways, and that's how you get noticed when it's who's that, and who's that, and they're on different plays. It's like at some point, like, you got to play that.
So the Eags will now head into their final week of spring camp looking to tighten up any of those loose screws. And then it's the red-white spring game on Friday, May 1st. In Cheney, I'm Noah Schmick, SWX.
Thanks, Noah. Seattle Mariners just 1-8 on the road to start the season before they headed to St. Louis, but they won the first 2 games so far in this series against the Cardinals. Seattle Mariners looking for a sweep of the Cardinals as well, trying to get a little bit better record on the road. They're down 1, though, but here's Cal Raleigh, puts a good swing on it. Looked like he didn't swing very hard, but it was hard enough to put this one over the fence, and he ties the game up at 1 run apiece. We head to the 7th inning. Cole Young, little jam shot off the hands, but it's enough to get out of the infield. Drops in for a base knock. Connor Joe comes in to score, and once again, it's a tie game. Now to the 9th inning. Rob Refsnyder lifts a 3-2 pitch deep to left field. It's carrying. It's gone. The Mariners, they pick up the road sweep, and now they are just 1 game under 500. And also, while we didn't have any local players get drafted this year in the NFL draft, a few players did sign undrafted free agency deals, and they'll get their shot in the NFL. For Washington State, safety Tucker Large, he signed with the Philadelphia Eagles, as did cornerback Colby Humphrey. He will be headed to the Bay Area, though, after signing with the San Francisco 49ers. For Idaho Vandals, a lone player, Isaiah King, also going to Philadelphia after signing with the Eagles as well.
Before we let you go this evening, I'm going to give you one last look at that forecast. Beautiful night out there. Wow. But take a look at those warmer temperatures on the way. You see that we have return to the 70s on track for Spokane by about Thursday, and that pattern set to last through the rest of the work week and into the weekend too. And to top it all off, we're looking at dry conditions during that time as well. That chance of rain is really low for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, as well as the Tri-Cities and Yakima over the next week here too. So we're looking at warmer weather, dry conditions, cloud cover off and on. It's a great week to get outside.
Yeah, and it's a big sports week as well.
Yeah, I mean, we got the last 2 spring games for Idaho and Eastern Washington, and then, of course, Bloomsday coming up on Sunday. Luckily, Rosemary gave us some good weather, it looks like.
I tried.
Yeah.
And then also, we were just talking about this earlier, leading straight into Bloomsday, the first ever sub-2-hour marathon officially was run today, which is like unbelievable. No one ever thought that was going to happen.
Good runner season, I guess.
By those 2 guys. All right, we'll see you back here at Pulse Prime.
Heidi Miley, Rosemary Wright, bringing you the content that connects our community. You're watching NonStop